What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the quarterfinal predictions of Euro 2024. Who do you think is going to progress to the semi-finals? Let me know your predictions down in the comments. We've, of course, got 4 games today. I'm going to let you know my score predictions and some tips. There are some upsets being predicted, and I'm not looking forward to it, put it that way. Flashing up on the screen are all of the people that have supported me over on Patreon. Over there, you get exclusive members, tips, and accumulators, and you also get a shout out in every single The Full 90 video. You will have seen that in every video since last September when we started. And of course, as the Euros come to an end, we're not far away from what we're all super excited about, the Premier League season resuming once again. And of course, a lot more tips with tons more games, tons more leagues around the world, rather than just a few international fixtures that we are looking at today. So if you want to get a shout out in every video, support me for just a low price each month, which you can cancel at any time if you want, then click the link using the description below. And let's get into the first fixture, which promises to be a good one. So kicking off, we have the 2 most impressive teams of the tournament, Spain up against Germany. Spain, as we actually tipped over on Patreon, beat Georgia with both teams to score and a -1 handicap. I was thinking like 3-4-1, it ended 4-1. And Germany, we simply just tipped them to beat Denmark, and they ended up winning 2-0. I think this is going to be a fantastic game. We've had some really low scoring, not very high quality games. England, France. But there's been some really good quality, high scoring games as well from the likes of these 2 teams. So I see no reason as to why it doesn't carry on. You've got Spain, who have been the best looking team in this tournament. Germany not too far behind, but also the tournament is of course being played in Germany. This one, as you can see, being played in Stuttgart. So it's essentially a home game for Germany, as all the others have been. And this draw here against Switzerland, they'd already qualified, and Switzerland, as we know, are a very decent team, recently knocking out Italy and here in the quarterfinals. So a brilliant start for these 2 teams. I'm going to go for a 2-2 score draw, my tip being both teams to score at 1.72, but I have made my decision as to who is going to qualify, and I'm going for home advantage in a penalty shootout, Germany to qualify with penalties. Manuel Neuer just throwing it back. No, not throwing it back, but throwing the goalkeeping back, as he's done for years. Manuel Neuer with the throwback of basically just clutch goalkeeping moments. And I think Germany can just scrape through in a brilliant game to the semi-finals. I couldn't separate the 2 teams here, so I've just gone with home advantage for the penalty shootout. After this, Portugal up against France. Who else had a funny feeling that Cristiano Ronaldo was going to miss that penalty in extra time? I wasn't, it was weird, given how easy it was for them to win the shootout, that the other team even played for penalties, essentially, because they were terrible. Diego Costa just saved them all. But either way, Portugal-France. France beat Belgium 1-0. We tipped France to win at 1.9. Belgium was so negative and poor, and France just lacked that clinical finish. They eventually managed to get it through an own goal, so obviously they're still yet to score an open play. They've had 2 own goals to get them 2 1-0 wins, and a Kylian Mbappe penalty to get their 1-1 draw with Poland. But, I mean, this could go either way. This is the best time to play France. At the start of the tournament, everyone was predicting France to do well. I tipped France to win the whole thing, but you would want to play France at this time. There's no better time. So luckily for Portugal, I think they have a chance. I think they looked really good. They just couldn't finish. I mean, the Georgia result, I would kind of disregard that. We've got the 3-0 win against Turkey and 2-0 win against Czech Republic. That was a very, very late winner, wasn't it? But I think, especially because I do think they're still going to try and shoehorn Cristiano Ronaldo into that team, which is that better for them? I'm not sure. I mean, you brought on Diogo Jota, who could easily replace Ronaldo, and then he won the penalty that Ronaldo then went on to miss. So, and also he just keeps missing free kicks. I think he scored 1 out of his last, I think it was 60 free kicks on international duty or something crazy. He doesn't score them, so I don't know, and he's not even getting close. So, Portugal-France, I'm going to go for a 1-0 win to France, but you could look at under 2.5 goals. You could look at France to win at 2.35. My tip is going to be France to qualify at 1.66. I think those odds are pretty good for essentially who I believe should be the tournament favourites. I think they're second favourite behind England, which I don't get at all. And we're speaking about them now because we move on to England up against Switzerland. Now, this is a really interesting one because on the one hand, a lot of people are saying that we will actually play well against Switzerland, because people are expecting us to fail based on how poor we've been. And first of all, I know Jude Bellingham's goal, the equaliser at the end, was a very good goal in itself. But since he scored that first goal, the 13 minutes into the first game, and scored that goal 95 minutes into the fourth game, he's been dreadful throughout. Nobody's talking about it. I'm not even going as far as say necessarily that Jude Bellingham's overrated, although at this point I probably would, because based on his rating, everyone suggests he's like the best player in the world, and he simply isn't. But for that whole game, when it was 0-0, his attitude stank. He gave the ball away a lot. Just watch the game, and same with the 0-0 draw before that, the third one in the group stage. He just gave the ball away and didn't do enough. And he saved England, so you've got to give him props for that, but he's been poor this tournament. Harry Kane's positioning has been poor this tournament. He drops too deep. It's frustrating. Phil Foden obviously is playing out of position, so who knows what's going on there. And for that reason, although I hope England win, and if Switzerland, team that looks good and looks in form, they look very good, they might actually attack England, and England could maybe play on the counter-attack, which I think suits us a little bit better than just dominating the ball because we don't do anything with it. I'm going to stick my neck out and say Switzerland just win in regular time. 2-1 to Switzerland. I haven't predicted England to lose in a little while. I think the last time I probably predicted them to lose was against France in the World Cup semi-finals when we did. So I'm going to say the same here. The Switzerland to win 2-1. My tip is going to be Switzerland double chance of 1.66. I could see it being a draw. I hope England win. I hope we play better, but we've had 4 games to play better than we did the previous game against Iceland in the pre-tournament friendlies, and we just haven't stepped it up. A lot of our players are playing below their level. It's like a jigsaw that doesn't fit with really good pieces, but it just doesn't look good. So I'll say 2-1 to Switzerland, who will think they can beat England. Switzerland won't be scared of England. No one's scared of England. But after this, it's Netherlands up against Turkey. Now, the Netherlands had a really entertaining and exciting game against Romania, and then eventually they got a couple of extra late goals to cement their victory. Romania had a really it was a poor decision, really. They essentially had a breakaway because of a good one of the Romanian players, I forget his name, I think it was the substitute that came on, put a good foot in to kick the ball past whoever it was, and the ref called it back for a high boot, and it simply wasn't. And then the captain got booked for dissent, and I'd be just as annoyed. It was a poor decision. And then Netherlands scored a good goal after that. Cody Gakpo doing well to keep it in play, and then they scored a third one in stoppage time. So Netherlands looked good, but then Turkey, I mean, it was backs against the wall for a while, but they took a 2-0 lead against Austria thanks to 2 corners. And despite Austria's comeback with the goal they scored, and they came so close, that save at the end was absolutely phenomenal. Turkey held on against Austria. I think this is going to be a high-scoring and exciting game, and I think Netherlands are going to walk away. Netherlands 3, Turkey 1, and my tip is going to be Netherlands to win and both teams to score. Now that leaves the semi-final of Germany up against France and Netherlands up against Switzerland. So that means one of the Netherlands or Switzerland is going to make the Euro final against who would then be the favourites, the winner of France and Germany. So those are my semi-final predictions. Being a bit brave, predicting England to go out, but I mean, they've just been terrible, and I hope on this occasion that I am wrong. Leave your predictions in the comments below, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.